Everybody wants to find the perfect match for their financial needs. Secured savings, stress-free access to affordable loans, instant mobile money transfers to MTN and Orange Cameroon, and even a share in the profits as a member owner. For over 7 years, Rencam Credit Union has been the perfect match for Cameroonians living in the UK and other nationals with interest in the Cameroonian heritage. Visit rencam.co.uk. Join Rencam Credit Union today, achieving success together. Oh boy. Hi. So, Caleb, hi. So, hi guys, this is different. You're probably going to be watching us. You'll be catching up in a few minutes. Like I said, I am streaming today from YouTube Live, and so you can follow us. The link has been shared to the Goretti Experience page. So if you're watching this on the Goretti Experience, I encourage you to share as much as you can share. It's the same show. It's the Goretti show. And my guest today is Caleb. Hi, Caleb. I'll be bringing him up shortly and he'll be joining us. But so we're trying something new today. We're streaming on YouTube directly. So it's going to take a minute for you to join us. I know that, but once you're here, let me know that you are here. Caleb, what I'm going to do, which I normally don't do, is I'll bring you straight on and we'll have a conversation while we wait for the rest to join us, okay? Yeah. So, because this is like I said, hi Caleb, welcome to the Goretti Show.
It's such a pleasure to be here. I've been waiting like for a month. It's crazy.
Oh, I know. I know. But thank you for being a good sport. Hi, whoever is joining, just let us know because today we're streaming primarily from YouTube. So if you're joining us, join us on YouTube Live. We have to make that money, right, guys? We need to appeal to a wider audience, and we kind of feel like YouTube is where it's all happening at. So that's why we're doing the YouTube link today. So join us, share so that a lot of our people know. For the purpose of this show, this particular show, Caleb, I'm going to have to promote it later on just so that a lot more people catch up on it. And so don't worry, you will still get a lot more, you will still benefit from being a guest of our show, okay? But I mean, you're a content creator, right? So you know why.
Totally, I totally get that, and it's very important aspect, and how, especially how the social media platforms are growing now, and all of these platforms. There's no way you can just develop content and just let it float, no make any returns.
And we've been doing it for so long, especially on the Goretti show. We've been doing it for so long for the passion of it. But I mean, at some point, bills begin to appear because, like, for example, we're streaming via whichever medium you stream with, it's not free. If you want to promote your show to get to a wider audience, it's not free. So all these little things, they cost a bit of money. And so instead, if you want to offer quality content, as they say, better soup,
Money, yeah, totally.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
I agree.
But thank you. Welcome to the show. I'm so happy to have you. And I reached out to you. You're one of the guests that I reached out to because I follow you on Facebook and I think I follow you on almost most of your social mediums. I follow you on Twitter. Do you know I follow you on Twitter?
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I follow you on Twitter. I follow you on. I'm subscribed to your channel on YouTube, and you're my friend on Facebook.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
When I saw the notification, I was like, me? Oh, people are watching this, because you're just doing this, like you said, for the passion of it, because that's always a trigger, and you
Yeah.
never really concern about those who are watching it until.
Whichever medium you stream with, sorry, yeah.
So that's been pretty much it. It's such a pleasure to be here and to be on another platform, talk to a different audience and stuff like that. It's delightful, and I can't wait to have a great show, because definitely that's what it's going to be.
Thank you so much. And mom, I can see my mom is watching. The black boy is watching. Can you guys just share the YouTube link? Like I said, we're doing it different. We are streaming from YouTube. So just share as much as you can. It's really important. Caleb, I don't even know what to say about you, just because I'm such a fan of your work. I say that you have created your own niche. Like, the thing is, the current Cameroonian entertainment, what would I call it? It's
The
not just
industry,
it's not just the industry. The atmosphere is so vibrant. There is
right,
so much happening. I follow
right.
a lot the Anglophone entertainers, but so and I see a lot of growth. So many exciting things are happening among young Anglophones, and it just thrills me. And you're one of the people that caught my eye, and because I'm trying to bring up your show, but like
Thank
Caleb has a show. Caleb calls himself a Karawamedia, right? Right.
Right, right,
Tell
totally.
tell the people a bit more about your show while I try to bring it up.
Um, First of all, thank you for giving all of those accolades for it. I didn't think that it was that amazing, but I'm so grateful. And just like you said, the industry is so vibrant. I was recently telling my friend that I'm beginning to feel the pressure of the competition. You know,
Mm,
so when I started, that wasn't it. It was just me putting out content and stuff. But now everybody's doing amazing at it. The content. My show is literally it's a wide. When I created the YouTube channel, it was to develop content, a wide variety of stuff. But the one where I personally appear in is called the Diary Room. It's
yes.
called the Diary Room Show. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, but we have a wide variety of other things like the love story segment where we talk to couples and all of these platforms. But I've been trying to discuss the entertainment industry in a different way, completely different way, because we can just give out what happened, but we don't dig back into the little tiny details of why it's happening, what can change. So it was just me being opinionated about stuff. And when I first did it, I didn't think it was going to be anything
Mhm.
until CRT was like, you know what? We need your show. We have seen it. We need to put it out. And I was like, because I already started feeling weary at the beginning of it. When my show was asked to be aired on national TV, I was like, okay, so it means it's something people are actually liking it. And I know a friend of mine who told me the mother has no clue what I talk about, but she just enjoys the presentation show. So she stays there anyway to watch it. And I was like, okay,
Yeah,
this is the
yeah, the mom is exactly like me. Like when I was just, how your news feed just suggests random stuff, and I came across this, I was like, and I was just laughing. I was like, "Who is this young man? This is amazing." But anyway, but for those who are watching, let me give you just a little clip of what he does. So this is Caleb's Karawa Diary.
What's up, everybody? Oh, God. Oh, that's the tipsy. I mean, I'll get this. To you. You remember how Cameroon has been fighting and saying stuff like they have to ban Nigerian music? Recently, we heard Flavor say something in relation to that. Yes, Flavor Nabanya. And that's what we're here to bring for you in this show right now. Don't go anywhere. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, let me dive into the pool of entertainment right into the point of what is happening this week. A couple of weeks ago, we did a show stating the fact that Naira Marley came to Cameroon, and of course, his music couldn't pull through. This is all what Flavor said on the show, and you can listen right here.
Talking about Africa in general. Yeah. Everybody. Can you believe Diamond on YouTube is like the biggest act in Nigeria, in Africa?
Yep. We can believe that. That honestly, and I encourage anybody who is watching right now to go and watch Karawa Media on YouTube. Guys, we need to support each other henceforth from YouTube. It is so important. He is so full of energy. Do you know what? The first time I watched your show, right, I was so convinced that you were in bush somewhere. I was like, there's no way this quality is from pay. Like, there is no way. And then my friend was like, that young man is probably in Douala doing this thing. I'm like, that's not possible. With this level of quality from your show, it was, the editing is so seamless, it's so fun.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
How did it start? Yeah, go on.
Yeah, and that's what I always tell people. Like, I mean, I keep saying that the national TV station wanted it when I started doing the show, but it's the other way around. What happened was, it's not been long, it's just been 2019. I started Karawa Diary, which was just a blog where I updated content, because that's what I was fascinated by, creating content creation, pretty much. And I kept doing blogging and stuff, but there was this emptiness inside of me, like maybe there should be more, maybe I should do more, maybe there's something lacking. In 2019, 2018 rather, ending 2018, I was called on CRTV on the show Cameroon Feeling. When I went on Cameroon Feeling, the reason why I was called was because I came as a blogger. I came in the capacity of a blogger. And Pati Mbele asked me that I should make an assessment of what the entertainment industry has been like in 2018. And I did. So when I went home, she called me to come back the following week, 2019, and she said I should do a projection of what I think 2019 is going to look like. So I did. And the following week, she called me again, and I was like, yo,
I don't know.
I was like, I don't stay in Yaoundé. I can't make it.
Oh,
and that was just a period when Magasco was leaving Empire, Pete Bakati's Empire. So she was like, she needs to get my opinion on Magasco leaving, Empire and stuff. And I was like, I don't live in Yaoundé, not yet, because now I reside in Yaoundé. So I told her, I can't make it. So she said I should take my phone and place it and film, and like a correspondent from Boya or something. I was like, yo, that's so much mediocrity. I'm not sure that I can do that. But luckily for that day, it was a Monday. And Monday, we are not doing pretty much anything. We're confined home. So, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do something. My friend was home. I had a light, since I had a little studio anyway, home studio. So I just set the light and I did the first show, which truth be told, was surprised at what I did. So I shot the show and then I sent it to her, and she was like, you did this today? Because she was supposed to, that was Monday, and she was supposed to air Tuesday morning, and she asked me, you did this today? I was like, yes. And she was blown away. Me too. When I put it on Facebook, the reaction from people, the sharing, I was like, oh, this can be something. So, and that's how it pretty much happened for the diary room, because literally when I wanted to start doing the show, I had a group. There were 5 of us. We used to just come, sit down, talk about the entertainment industry. The video go as long as 40 minutes, but I wanted something that just goes straight to the point. And yeah, that's why it gave birth to that. And over the years, the subscriptions have been impressive. I can't say I've been entirely consistent, but that was the birth of it, totally.
So are you streaming on CRTV? Is your show on CRTV?
I recently just worked out that story for another day. But that was a personal decision. Okay. I've been running, yes.
Oh, so Karawa Diary has been on CRTV all this while?
For 2 years, yes.
See, I didn't even know. But see, Well, okay, my bad. As you know, as the presenter, I had to do my research. But I'm just saying that it is of such good quality. I just thought this is. I actually discovered you during the quarantine, so I just thought it was like a new thing that you started during the quarantine. But honest, kudos to you. But before you were Karawa Media, and you know, I thought that name was like a fun name. I was so surprised that you told me it was your real name. I'm so sorry. Where is Karawa from? I've never
Uh, when you say from, you mean like my tribe,
your
me,
tribe. Yeah, your
and
tribe.
okay, yeah, I'm from Ndu. I mean, that's the village after Banso, to be
Okay.
precise. My parents are both from there, and I was born there pretty much. And then, of course, I did primary school in Yaoundé and transitioned into BHS Mancon, where I did my secondary school and high school for 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that BHS was like the birthplace for all of the passion that I developed over time. Yeah, because in BHS, I was in class from 3 or so. I was given like access. We just had an accessibility to the computer lab at the time, and because I was so intrigued with computers, I just wanted to exploit, find out stuff
Mm-hmm.
and things. I just got myself involved with all of that. When I was in Form 5, I remember we wanted to do our very first school magazine in Form 5.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody that was involved with the school magazine were opposite students, but me. So at the time, I think it was just the how I was so about putting out information, typing, the curiosity and stuff, and this just began to build a whole completely different perspective about me. I think my love for computers made me I wanted to be a programmer or something like that,
Oh, yeah.
related, or stuff. But whatever it was, I knew I wanted to be something computer related, but it is the system never really just works in our favor sometimes. And yeah, but and when I went to Upper City, it was still the same thing. I was put in charge of the school magazine, and I'll spend long hours instead of preparing for the GC. My dad should not be watching this. I mean, I instead of because truth is in opposite, I was like the top students in the junior classes. When I went to opposite, I was in the last five, not
Oh,
the
dear.
last. Yeah, because I think I got carried away with more of rendering these services, and that's how passionate I was. Had it been, I was properly shown a way to say, what, just pursue just this. Maybe
Yeah.
I would have found my way in what I found doing in the university, because I've been scientist. When I tell people I'm a science student, I did 11 papers, 5 papers at the advanced level. People are like, no, that's not true, and stuff. But I wish I didn't do that. I mean, education is never really lost. I wish I
Yeah.
really just focused on the arts, maybe understood some things about journalism or whatever it is. Things that's what I'm pretty much I can feel like since I report now, I'm into that, or maybe just focus on production and things. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think these are all the things that came together to build this
To
pretty
build
much.
Karawa Media today. And you know
Yeah.
what? Our journey is our journey. It's going to work out the way it is meant to work out. Your story is actually very similar to mine, because I was a science student as well until university, and then I switched.
Oh,
I wish I had started the arts from like secondary school, because that's always been my passion. But when you're smart both ways, you're always encouraged to
right.
be
The
a science
science.
student. But when I
Right.
got to university, I could make, basically, when I felt bush, I made decisions for myself at that point,
Right.
and immediately switched to communications. But I get it. I get exactly that. But I mean, what does your father feel? What does your father feel about you today, about what you're doing, what you've been able to do with Karawa Media?
Maybe I
And
should date.
before you answer that, is Karawa your father's name?
Nope, it's not.
All right, then. Okay, because I was going to say where you've taken his name. So this is your own name, right?
It's my. But he gave me the name though, so I can say, but before I say what he thinks, maybe I'll date back a bit, like with me and him. Uh, Initially, when I think my dad has always just wanted to run things. I mean, like, and which is totally okay. This is the African parent perspective. They feel like a child cannot entirely make a decision, and they don't try to guide, they try to tell you what to do. So and that was the case because when I finished my primary school education, he wanted me to go to a technical school. He wanted me to go to a technical school. He didn't want the whole English, whatever and stuff. And I told him, no, my friends, I'm not sure that's me, you know. And I went through, so literally all through it's been some rebellion, all through.
That means, as we say, you and your papa don't wear one foot trouser for a while.
It's for a while, because even when I think that it went through, and when I talk about it before, I begin to realize that wow, this has been a long, you know, a long journey. Because when I was in Form 5, he wanted to take me out of BHS and send me somewhere else. I was like, yo, it's not like you can't afford it anymore. What's going on? And some other people had to talk to him, and then he pulled through. When I finished advanced level, which of course when I mounted last 5, he knew I can't make it at the advanced level. Okay, well, so I finally made it anyway, and do this like no university. You are going to write concours, which I didn't mind. I wanted to go out and do programming. I wanted to go out. This was still on my mind. I wanted to go do some computer stuff. And uncles like, yo, from the way we know you, you're going to go out and just play. You know, you're not going to do it. I was like, wow. And he was like, I should write concours, ENS, Qs, which I had 1 week to prepare for ENS, where a lot of people had time to. And when I failed, he said that was deliberate, you know. But pretty much all true. I haven't really failed something. So he just felt like I went and studied. Till this day, he feels like I failed deliberately. When in essence, I didn't have time to prepare, you know, but came to the university. While I was doing that, I just had to apply in the university anyway, because I didn't know. What if I didn't make it in the concours and now spend a year? So that's how I found myself doing geology in the university. Like,
no, I know. It's a personal thing. I'm laughing because I found myself doing environmental science in UB as well. So continue.
Wow, this is crazy. I because I went in. Thank God they didn't take me for the biochemistry or any of those things, because when I got into the university, my passion started overwhelming me. Like I thought it's always going to be. So I think I wasn't giving that much attention to academics. And it wasn't really about the weekend partying for me or the drinking. That was not what this was about. I could leave school and go to the studio, music studio. So when I'm talking about Cameroonian entertainers, most of these people that I talk about on the show, we have been upfront. We have had a personal experience from when I was in the university. You know, in fact, pretty much almost all of the entertainers now. So, and that was because I used to leave. I'll go to the studio sometimes. I'll have a CA, and I'm studying by the studio. You know, I just wanted to be in this thing, experience stuff. You know, but yeah, and that wasn't right with my dad. The whole of the university, he didn't like the idea, until I kept telling him, you know what, it is what it is. I'm going to find a degree and give it like you wanted, because I was pulling for too long, because geology was a past degree for me. It wasn't something that I could even use, you know. And when I started, I just told him I'm a blogger. He doesn't know what on earth that is. So, but yeah, this was different. When I started Karawamedia, this was different because he watched me on TV. When he got on TV, he couldn't avoid it. Who doesn't watch CRTV in Cameroon? I mean, it wasn't just about even him watching, because people called him literally every time. Yo, Caleb is on TV, you know, it's this. Dad was coming so often, and he felt like, okay, maybe, just maybe, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Long since we like got into a cordial atmosphere where we had one thing to talk about a conversation, left to him. I should do masters. I should go ahead, use the past degree, study more, and stuff. But that wasn't really my part. But I think that right now he's okay. I'm not calling. I'm grown now, so it's not like I'm depending on him or calling to demand.
Is he proud, or is he like, okay, at least he can feed himself?
No. I think he is. But now this one thing. My dad is not very verbal when it comes to emotions.
It's not just your dad, okay? It's like 90% of Cameroonian dad, so you're not alone. Don't worry.
My dad, I love him. He will respond.
I love you. It's new generation. It's not their generation, so don't blame him.
And I don't think that him not responding does not mean that he loves me any less. They just have their way of showing it,
Yeah.
The reason why sometimes our African parents want us to have degrees is because they want to sit among their friends and have something to say about their child. And I get it totally. My child is this, my child just had a degree, and stuff. Yeah. The ability to do that and probably tend to some things that I can tend to too in the family and stuff. That's enough for him to be proud about, because I think our line of conversation, the tone, especially the tone has changed. It's we're no longer talking like father and son.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much more like equals. It's just some mutual understanding that I know, oh, this is my dad. But when he's having a conversation with me, it's not a father and son thing. It's like a buddy. This my friend. We
you know what that is? That's respect.
Right.
He has respect for you now. He has respect for whatever it is you said to do. And I think that's one of the best things to get from a parent. When a parent starts treating you like an equal, it's because they have developed a lot of respect for you, and they know that you can handle yourself like an adult. And that to me, when I look at like my mom, when my mom started treating me like that, for me, that surpassed love. That tells me that she's like, this is my body. This is more than my daughter. This is my friend. Know? Yeah. So take it and appreciate it, because that is, it's more than that. I love you when he starts.
True. And when I'm talking about the tone, I'm even talking from the perspective, when you grow up in a family where dad is a disciplinarian, it's not the person who smiles about a lot of stuff. The transition in behavioral pattern is so easy to notice because it was so easy. And it's not something that I saw coming really soon. I thought he was always going to be, the one that I felt like, I remember my dad telling me one time, keep calling your mom. Don't call me. I hear you call your mom, and I'm like, oh, dude, you're jealous. So you want me to call? But like jealousy, like this only exists when there's love somewhere. You want me to call you, you want me to talk to you and stuff. Yeah. So there are different ways that he has expressed, and I know because I've learned how to listen to that subtle voice in your parents that say, And right now, I feel him guide me. He guides more. He doesn't tell me this is what you got to do. He says, don't you think if you do this, what do you think? So it's some agreement perspective. And I'm accommodating the things he says. I think that I accommodated more now, more than before,
That's amazing. The few comments, and my mom's saying great job. So when like you're doing amazing, I don't know if you know Gwen Eliza, Gwen, she's on Facebook and on YouTube as well. You know her? She has a platform, Gwendy Media, and she interviews as well. So maybe you should hook up with her so that she introduces you to her own audience. She's brilliant at what she does. She's really brilliant. Check her out, Gwendy Media. And then Tango Monkey says you're his boss.
Yeah. Actually, he's the one managing the social media platforms. Very smart guy.
Oh, so, well done. Zega says that's why I have a problem with our education system. Orientation is not the best. Okay, I think it's when you went to do the geology, right?
Total fact. And that's the word I was looking for. I wanted to say, if only I was properly orientated from. If I was given orientation that was right from the beginning. If somebody
Yeah.
can observe, while in Mancon, the principal, Mr. Nyangaji Job, he was good friends with my dad. I'm sure that's a reason why I stayed till upstate. He kept introducing me to people as a computer engineer, computers, because he, the principal, was able to. He noticed that that was my passion. That's what I was intrigued about, and that's because he was close to me, and he
Yeah.
would make me come and install stuff on his personal computer, the principal's, and that was a big deal to me. If I asked access to the computer lab, I was given, and
Mhm.
now this is just this just showed me that if our educational system has a platform where you can really assess students, and understand their drive
Yeah.
before the university. It's easy to tell them, aside just the whole passing exam thing, that you know what, this
Yeah.
is what this is what you should get into. But that's never really. We're just bent on exams. In fact, some teachers make you feel like if you don't pass, the more people fail their exams, the stronger they are. Some egoistic.
Caleb, I'll take you back on that conversation, but let me go and guys, thank you guys so much for watching. And I know I'm not reading everybody's comments, but I appreciate you. And if you can, please watch us on YouTube, the same page, the Goretti Experience, because we're trying to grow that YouTube channel, like I said at the beginning, to try and pay for some of these expenses that come with streaming. Because guys, this streaming is not cheap. I don't know if you know that, but if you know anybody who streams, you have to support them. So we're trying to stream more from YouTube. So if you can, switch over to YouTube and watch us on YouTube on the Goretti Experience page. Like and subscribe, and then and what's the word? Keep the conversation flowing in the YouTube comments, because that engagement as well, it goes a long way. This is Caleb. Caleb is joining us from Yaoundé, and as usual, for those who don't know, I only wear Skylar Glam lipstick, and I'm sporting my favorite Shanti. That's it on her lips. I don't know how my lighting looks, but it's the same thing I'm rocking tonight. So if you haven't already, check Skylar Glam out. She's Skylar Glam, www.skylarglam.com. So check her out and purchase yourself one of these fabulous lipsticks. Every lipstick you see me wear on this show is sponsored by Skylar Glam. So check her out and support this young lady's business. She ships worldwide, so it'll be amazing. Thanks, Caleb. Oh, sorry. Mommy P is asking, is the name Caleb or Caleb? Sorry, I call it Caleb. I'm sorry. What do you call yourself?
The name is Caleb. I've said it to my friends over and over. I've gone to YouTube. I've said, listen. But of course, Caleb is what is generally known. My mom calls me Caleb too. And trust me, I've told her that, no, that's not the name. And she asked me, are you the one that gave? But it's Caleb, pretty much. Caleb.
Caleb. Great.
Right.
So when saying, just reviewing some of your work on Facebook, the guy is good at what he does. Thanks, G, for introducing him to us. Definitely following him. You should follow him. His shows are he's brilliant. He's a funny guy. It's different. It's really different. And like I said, you caught my eye, and I reached out to you because I was like, I was so sure you were a bush faller, like 100%. So. And not that I'm dissing the work that our young people do in Cameroon, but the professionalism, the editing, the way it was done, the ambience, it was just like, this is so refreshing. I really loved it. That's why I started following you on almost all your social media platforms. So I'm so glad that you're on the show tonight. He is Karawa Media on the banner that's scrolling below, Karawa Media. Please follow him and see what I'm talking about. And he's not paying me. I'm pushing him out because we need to do our own. So, it's
right.
Yeah. But so Caleb, you've talked about this you were not orientated. Is it orientated? Oriented? That word is always you properly as you were. I was going to put it to you. You've experienced it. You know what it is. If you know because I believe very strongly that we are the ones who have been waiting for that Cameroon to change. We are the ones who have been waiting for. We are here. So if you find young people that you think that have a talent in this, you can always be that voice for them. That person that, you know, can, because it's easy to spot somebody's passion. Everybody that knows me as a child knows that I like, they call me Shosho for a reason. Like, I like the camera, I like to act, I liked that. So you can spot somebody's natural talent. So be that for whoever you spot, so that they don't find themselves 10 plus odd years down the line say, I wish I had followed my passion, right?
Facts. True. Totally.
Yeah.
I agree with
you. Yeah.
You can. And that's what I was saying. That's why I did explain that maybe I would have had a completely different perspective. Even though sometimes our experiences too do shape us, our experiences, when we get out and find out that, you know what, I'm stuck. I can't handle this anymore. Then everything else begins to fall in place, because of course that's basically how it happened to me. I didn't just start blogging. When I finished with geology, then what? That's, and I think this is the part of my life, is this transition, is this transition in my life that basically, I think that was a turning point, because when I finished with geology, I felt like I was stranded. There was nothing else. I had to go back to the basics. What is it that you like? What is it that you like to do? How can you monetize it? So, and that's how I registered myself for an HND course on a UK platform called Hotspot to do digital marketing, inbound methodology to be precise. So I didn't just want to dive into blogging. I don't know what I'm doing, because that's what, like, and I think that that's the difference. So if you notice on Karawamedia, you notice the use of my colors. I'm very intentional about it. So my colors get to stick. My slogan, what's hot and what's not, the everything branding, literally. And this was a time when I finished with geology and didn't have anything else to do. So I had to go into studying all of this. Aside the fact that I render it to other companies and stuff, I needed to exhibit it myself. The one thing that I'm short of is consistency, but of course, it's again because we get overwhelmed, you know, by all of this. So we get overwhelmed by everything else. So I get.
You know what? You did it right. It was never, because do you know that I am actually taking a course in digital marketing at this stage? So you've done it properly. So honestly, kudos to you. I'm sure. I hope that you pass this on. Mentorship is so important. Like you have and like your YouTube channel. How many subscribers do you have? You have quite a lot, because I saw your show get over 5,000 views. What I say with that is, I believe very much in passing on what we know, you know, because sometimes we don't only lift each other up through financially, just sometimes just advice, just mentorship goes a long way. So now that you know these things, make it a duty, Caleb. I feel like we owe it to our people to pass it on, so that more of, because we need, a lot has been going, the country has been like on a downward spiral for a while for young people. There are no jobs with it, but out of that lack of employment has come your resilience and your entrepreneurial basically not nature, but we have, as Cameroonians, we've been forced to be entrepreneurial. You know? Yeah, and so the few of you who are really excelling in that, it is so important to pass it on. I'm very, very big on that. Let's pass it on so that more people grow, because that's the only way we all benefit.
Right. Totally.
That's the only way. If we have a vibrant industry, it benefits everybody.
Right. Totally true. I agree with that.
So so let me. Is your mom? Your mom is your mom in Yaoundé?
No, I'm just in Yaoundé. They're both in Bamenda.
Oh, they are now in Bamenda. What does your mom think about what you do? Because we've heard about that. What's mom's side?
My mom is the most indifferent woman I've ever come across.
You serious?
And I don't just say this, but it's because I talk with her. I think that in the times when I had this friction with my dad, that's all I'm concerned about. She was so concerned about the friction that was happening between me and my dad, and I was like, you know what, you guys should put your egos aside, focus on fixing this thing. Don't carry your ego and it worried her so much that she got sick. I know. And she told me that we need to chill. As soon as we started getting along so well, and it was not like my relationship with my dad was so bad, but she just wanted us to be, really close. And so that's the only change that I've noticed. The fact that she's not so complaining about, you're giving me high blood. What's wrong with you? And stuff. Because now at least my cordial relationship with my dad is different. My mom has really been indifferent. But I don't know if it's because she trusts me. She listens. When I tell her that, you know what, this thing that I'm doing, it takes time. Because even right now, it does take time. Yes. I'm not where I want to be. I'm looking forward to something bigger. I want to make bigger moves. And there are days that I get really weary. I get so, you don't want to know how much I want.
I know the journey to success is lonely. And it's very lonely. The journey to the top is lonely for everybody. It's not just
right.
You. There are days where you want to give up, but you cannot. Right. The thing is, because you're doing it from the right place, the passion will continue to drive you. So
right.
Yeah.
Right. So that's been it, me explaining to her and telling her that, you know what, I'm going to do this. And she's been encouraging me. She's so concerned about my spiritual stance and, how I'm supposed to hold on to that. That's pretty much our line of conversation. When I was having a conversation with my dad, I think the reason why the friction was very noticeable is because what we really exchanged was financial needs. I need this, I need that, I need this. Because it was very clear who I was supposed to ask finances from.
Yeah.
So it was easy for my dad to have friction with me because he would be like, yo, you're just coming for money every time. Like, what's right? And that made me cut off. Like, I started feeling like I don't need to, always do this. And I feel like I'm being a burden and stuff like that. So that was easy to be noticed. On the contrary, my mom is so indifferent. She's always, whatever.
I don't think the term, the word is indifferent. I don't, right, guys?
What I
describe about his mother, do we all think that his mother is indifferent? Or I feel like your mom is trusting. Your mom trusts you to make the right decision, so she's relaxed.
I guess so.
Worried, and because she's not worried, you feel she's indifferent. She's not. She just trusts you enough that I think my son has a good head on his shoulders. The only part I needed to worry about, he sorted it out, so I'm good. I won't worry about this child. Because maybe also because you have stopped being the child that keeps his parents up at night.
I guess so too. And I was a lot of work. Trust me. Growing up, I was so much. I've been so much headache. And I give that to my parents. I think they've been so patient with me. I've been so stubborn. So being rebellious about what I wanted to do and standing on exactly what I want to do is not something that just started, because that's why I found my way in Yaoundé. I was so stubborn. My dad would feel like, you know what?
What would you say made you stubborn?
I think that is
that word the way our African parents use it, but I won't call it stubbornness. But because you keep calling it stubbornness, what do you think made you stubborn?
I mean, I'm just calling it stubborn as in not entirely doing what they want.
They want, yes.
It's not, because of course that's how they call it. Me not doing what they want, not in dishonor, but hoping I'm trusted. Trust me. And they don't. It overwhelms me too. It gets to my head. So I just want to do it and be like, you know what, I'm going to show them that this actually will work. And I think that's where this has been. Because now I'm thinking to myself, what if I did agree when I was leaving primary school that I would go to technical school for real? because
Mm.
that's what you need to do. Technical. I started refusing when I just left primary school. I couldn't do that. I couldn't. It's been that long. It's not today. So I don't know. I keep calling it stubbornness, maybe to explain totally what it is like to them. But right now, I think, like I said, my dad is comfortable, and like I say, our African perspective of love is too, it's
Rigid.
too, it's too. Yes, exactly. It's too intense. They're just afraid for you, and they
Mm.
don't know that the world is changing so fast. So the platforms or patterns for people to get things doing is expanding, and people's brains are also expanding. Where did I start doing cinematography or photography in some school? No, I didn't. I went to YouTube. I would sleep at 5 a.m. Like as you speak right now, that's still my pattern of work. In the
Mm-hmm.
day, I'm probably not doing something. Maybe I was supposed to be in bush. Maybe I'm not supposed to be here, but so in the day, I'm not working. I work from the 9, 10 to 3 a.m., 5 a.m. That's my uh, because in the days I'm probably listening to podcasts or watching YouTube
Educating yourself.
tutorials. Exactly. That's
But
what happened.
you know what that tells me, that you're driven. You're driven, and you are a kind of person that listens to that trusts their voice. A lot of us hear ourselves, but we do not trust ourselves. So like, if you say from primary school, you say you were not going to technical
Technical.
school, that tells me from primary school you kind of knew. It wasn't clear, but you knew that you needed to trust yourself enough to follow your path for you, not what
Exactly.
everybody wanted for you. And we will call that stubbornness. We wouldn't, you understand? But I
Right.
think, but when you become a parent, or as we become parents now, when we see that in our children, we understand, we've learned to recognize that as strong-willed and true to themselves. And so all you need to know is to guide that. So I really I get that. And it's a blessing now. It is a blessing now, isn't it? So if there is a young man who is at UB now, thinking that, let me just get this degree and present it to these old people because this thing is not for me, and they have something else in their mind that they want to do, what words of advice would you give them, knowing what you know now?
I first of all, if it's about you going to the university because you want to get a degree for your parents, that's totally okay. But if that's why you're doing it, honestly, I don't know if one day I might have to pick up my degree and use it, because like I told you when we were having a conversation, that I didn't have my GCE A and advanced levels certificates, because they all got missing. With my best certificate, I was working with no certificate at all, because it got missing all in a pile. Because of course, all of what was going on, I was purging, and this guy lives with everything. So for me, I didn't feel like, and trust me, when these things got missing, I was worried for a day, just one day, because I kept consoling myself and saying, "You don't need it. You don't need it. You don't need it." So it comforted me the whole time. So if you're in the university right now, you feel you're passionate about something, you're so passionate about something that can be monetized. What are you doing in the university? You finished. I mean, this, and I don't want somebody to misquote me. I am not saying that school is not important. I'm only saying that education is more important, not school. You don't need to be educated in school. You,
Right.
I'm not saying that school is not important. I'm only saying education is more. So if you are feeling passionate about something, trust me, if you just want to give a degree to your parents, that's a problem. Because I think your parents don't understand you until you show them that,
Yeah.
yo, this is what I want. So educate yourself on this thing that you really want to do. Educate yourself and don't be a burden to them, because they're not going to listen, because they already want you. If you find out that this thing you want to do, this thing you're passionate about, is something that you can do it from self without demanding finances for them, like was for my case, studying online on digital marketing and paying all of these offline mentors and stuff. I did it from me. If you can do that, okay, go right ahead and do it. Don't be a burden, but educate yourself in what you want to do. That's all I can say, because the time you spend in the university, you're not happy. And that's true. You're not happy. Every day you wake up and you're going to class really weary, irritated, and you're going to end up with my kind of degree, a past degree. What am I going to do to you? So I think that if I knew, I should have, because it's only frustration that triggered a different perspective for me. It's frustration. But had it been, I knew from the beginning that, yo, you can leave and just study, put your mind to this digital marketing. I would have, honestly.
Caleb, what would you say to Clementine who says, I have a conflict now with my 16 years old who thinks college is a scam. He loves IT and culinary. He's having a fight with his dad who's forcing him to go to college. That's my new nightmare. I asked him why he went to kindergarten. He said because we forced him to. So what would you say to this mom?
Wait, what? Kindergarten? Is that for real?
Yeah. So what would you say to that mom?
And trust me, I'm very sure that this is in the Western world. It's just Cameroon, though. It's definitely
it's in the US.
And true, facts. And I don't know how to say it. I had this conversation today with somebody because I was watching Tiffany's show, the comedian who has a show with kids, and I'm like,
oh yeah, Tiffany Haddish, yes.
I don't know what these kids in the Western world eat. They're so smart, and sometimes you might underestimate their perspective, but what they're really seeing, you are not. But I think that this is where the parents come in. This is where the parents need to guide. I don't think that college is a good place to end. Maybe not going to the university, okay. But college, I think that there's knowledge in college that can help you in your daily experience, day-to-day life. This is different. Except the college she talks about is a university, is it? It's not, right?
College in America is university, right? I think. You guys call it university college, right?
Well, if
Americans watching, let us know. Do you guys call 16 years old? So they're going to, so we call it high. So he wants to go to trade school. So he wants to go to technical school, like the equivalent of technical school.
Oh, okay. He wants to go to trade school. Okay. And instead of college.
Instead of university. So instead of, yeah.
Oh, then let him go then. This is a perfect. She knows and this is even more advantageous for her. She knows what she wants. 16. She knows exactly what she wants. She wants to go to trade school. This is her perspective, and this passion is not born by parents. No. This passion is when it is inborn. These are things. This is why God gave us diversity. We're so different, and if she's asking exactly what she wants, I'm very certain that she knows what she wants. If I was a parent, I'll be like, okay, if they can fund that, okay, let her do it. Because if she goes to the university or college and then has some hindrances, who takes the blame?
Parent.
The parent. Yeah, so for me, but the fact that she already started saying this in kindergarten, that's amazing. That's something new to me. It's crazy.
His strong head past you. His strong head kindergarten.
And just one thing to add to that, I'm listening to Kanye West, and Kanye West says that in the next 10 years, people are not going to be employed based on some degree. And it's just 10 years. 10 years is not far. People are going to be employed based on skill. It's going to be what can you offer me? What can you put on the table? Not what head knowledge do you know?
No.
So, and I believe him because it's already happening.
But as a mother, I would say whether he goes that way, as long as it gets him to the equivalent of a degree. So if he chooses to go to trade school, it should be able to get him into employment. Like basically, whatever he's choosing to do, I need to see the career progression. I need to see that there's a career, there's a potential career that will take him to retirement. I need to see that as a parent, Otherwise, go and get that degree as a backup. That's the kind. Even though I rebelled against it, but now as a parent, I understand my parents' concern, because the thing is, a degree in whatever you choose, whatever you're passionate about, that academic knowledge is very, very, it's a very good platform to spring from. You understand? It's very good. Some people are lucky. I mean, that my son will argue with me that my nephew actually argues with me that all billionaires don't have degrees. Like 90% of billionaires don't have degrees. I'm like, okay, yeah, those 90% of billionaires did not tell you that their parents had degrees, earned the money that they needed for the head start for them to jump from to become billionaires. Do you understand? So get that base in. We are Africans, although we are in a Western world that says there's no need for a degree. The way the world is going, we're still Africans, we're still Black people. Still get that base. That degree is very important. So Caleb, after you have become billionaire Oprah, right? Still go and get that degree and give it.
Amen.
Well, you have yours. You have yours. Yes. Yeah. Sorry. Go on.
Yeah, I was saying that I totally agree with you, because the perspective of Africa and the Western world is different. If you are going to be in Cameroon, that you won't get a degree, what happens tomorrow? You never know. I think that the Western world is more structured. There's some things that are very tolerable that you can let it slide. But yeah, you can just get the degree, because what if you don't know? You don't know. Maybe that's going to be. So I totally agree with you. This is where we are from. We need to stick to what happens where we're from. So
yeah, because not all of us of our generations will be the billionaires. We will be that springboard for our children to be the billionaires. So like that, yeah, because especially for those also are currently in the West, our children are first generation immigrants, right? So we need to give them the base. We need to provide them that cushion, and even they probably will need to provide the cushion for their children who may become those billionaires tomorrow. So that degree as an African in whichever context is very important. I think my advice would be, if you find your passion, have a degree in your passion, because then you grow quicker and you never feel like you've worked a day in your life, because you're doing what you love.
Right.
Yeah.
Totally makes sense.
So let's go to is it Karawa Diaries? Let's go back to your show, Karawa Diaries, because a few people have joined us a bit late, and tell our audience a bit about what Karawa Diaries is all about. And you guys check this young man out. You will not regret it. Trust me. He's amazing. You really do a fascinating job.
And it was Karawa Diary when we started doing the blogging, but I think that this year we changed everything to the media. So it's Karawamedia now, because we are looking at getting on more TV platforms and stuff. So right now, our span of shows, we have love story segment where we talk to couples. We talk to several couples who tell their stories. I'm going to be putting out one soon. I have the show where I'm the face of it, where of course it's entertainment based pretty much. And we have so much more coming on. And maybe this is the first show hearing it. We're going to start podcasts. We have had equipments for that, mobile podcast that's going to live a video podcast that it's going to be like the breakfast show. We're going to have different people come on the show. It's going to be video, but we'll upload the audio on Spotify and audio platforms. So there's just a lot. What we're trying to build is a environment. And like I said before, when I started, my whole concept wasn't surrounded around revenue streams. So I was so focused on Cameroonian content. We might diversify, but right now we're just really about what's happening in our industry. How can we grow it? What's going on? Who are these couples that are getting married and want to tell their love story? And just so much more. But it's right now We're at 8,000 subscribers, and it's really growing fast. And we hope that, and that's because in 2020 there was this lapses of inconsistency because I got so weary. Sometimes I have to edit like 5 shows. Hey, and by the way, we have shot a reality show. It's called the Blind Date. The reality show is a blind date. It's coming. The blind date
is that Belly Singer's show?
It's more like people coming. People, there are going to be five couples. So 10 people that have never met, that are meeting on the show for the first time. And okay, it's like a social experiment to know if you can fall in love with someone without seeing the person, or just like so.
Oh, it's like Love is Blind on YouTube, on Netflix. Love is Blind.
There you go. So I've shot. So there's just a lot, and I can't wait to reveal that. But on our YouTube platform now, you can get a lot that we've put out already. So yeah, pretty much.
I have a question for you though, Caleb.
Yes.
What kind of shows like that? These are young. It's mainly done by young people, right?
Right.
Like young Cameroonians. How does the society react to those kind of shows? Because I still feel like Cameroon, we're still a bit conservative, or are we not?
We are, but like they always say, there's always a starting point. There's always a starting point, and we are totally. We are. I think that, and because I'm saying this because I've already presented the show to a TV channel here in Cameroon, and they did watch it. Presented it to the Director General himself because I wanted to find out exactly what they feel about it, you know, and they like it. They like the whole concept and the whole idea. I think that companies now are beginning to become more open to stuff like this, because there's also Shades of Belly. Shades of Belly is coming up too. It's a reality show with Blanche Belly, you know, and I'm shooting that. So we have like so much. So the reality show is alive, like pretty much what you see. So all of this shooting that is going on is not happening. There's just so much, like so much, and the people are going to, like I always tell people, if you want, it's easier to outline the world to you than to align to everyone else in the world. True. So what I'm trying to do is create something that is going to, you know, over time, get people acquainted to it. People accept it. And that's the power of the media. If you tell people a lie over and over, they get to believe it.
Yep.
So it's not that we're going to tell people lies, but we're going to just keep it in their face. So until they become acquainted and be like, you know what, okay, this is good enough. And like I said, it's a social experiment. We're going to censor any foul language or any cursing or any of that to keep it as consumable as possible. But irrespective, this is what will happen in our life. This is what our parents are supposed to be talking about to us, and instead of avoiding it, you know. If we only start having these conversations, the lesser the unwanted pregnancies and all of whatever it is that happens.
Are you aware, talking about that, guys, I don't know if anybody has this, if you follow Better Things is one of our foremost bloggers on social media right now. She's on Instagram. I follow her on Instagram at Better Things. And in the past few days, there's been some craziness that seems to be happening in Yaoundé area of all these of orgies taking place among secondary schools children. And when I say orgies, I mean sexual orgies, like children in groups of 30s going to places and having, you know, and filming it and sharing it on social media. Are you aware of that?
I haven't been able to process that. And it's not just in Yaoundé. There's been Kribi, there has been Douala now. The one recently happened was in Douala. I've not been able to process the trigger, because I guess that in one of the conversations, some people are talking about the fact that some people because recently people are also caught on campus supplying drugs to students, you know. But then I don't know what triggers students to think in that way. And it's not like opposite. These are really young
Yeah, no,
people.
these are children in like from 1, from 2, from 3, like really young children.
I've not been able to assess it, and I don't think that this is even TV. This is not the TV. This is what cannot be prevented. It's the internet, accessibility, accessibility to phones, and I don't see how this is going to be handled over time or anything like that. If there's going to be any conversations, is going to have to be with parents, because this is getting out of hand, and I don't know. This is not triggered by TV, because our TV doesn't portray
This
all
is
of
like
this.
the fourth
Exactly.
school, 4 different schools that have in the past couple of weeks. I'm just concerned, like, are you guys okay? It's good that you're saying it's not TV, because I was concerned that, are you guys taking into consideration the kind of programming that you're making and how it influences or may not influence the society at large?
And just like you said, I think that we're still very conservative, or should I say parochial, or I don't know. I don't know the word, but we have not really changed much. I mean, I don't know when you left Cameroon, but what you used to watch on TV is pretty much the same thing, you know. And they try to be void of nudity as much as possible. Nothing has really changed on TV for the past years. The
So
quality,
it's the internet, then you would blame it on.
thing. So the content is pretty much still the same thing, and that's our TV station, except for the fact that cable, okay, cable lines. If it's our TV stations in Cameroon, we don't portray that. Now, you know that when DSTV comes, DSTV says you can put a pin to some channels so that children don't watch it. But are every parent aware of that? Canal Plus says the same thing. Well, I don't know whether Canal Plus has that, because that's what many francophones homes use, Canal Plus. So is the coming of all of these other foreign channels, I don't know how much that is playing, but I still don't feel that is contemporary TV. I feel like it's the internet. I feel like it's our phones, the accessibility. What do they watch on phones when their parents are not there? And they discuss it with them. When I was in primary school, all we spoke about was Dragon Ball. We'll come to school and draw it, cartoons, you know, and we didn't have phones. So there's no day that we'll even be having conversations that are directed to that, you know. But right now, everybody has a phone. And again, because we are so stereotyped, because we are so stereotyped, our parents, or parents, Cameroonian parents generally, they cannot sit their girl or boy children down and talk to them about these things that plague us when we grow into adulthood. Because we don't have the conversation, you give me the opportunity to want to exploit it. That's what's happening. In essence, our parents think that when they talk to us about it, they open our heads to. No. The Bible says, train up a child in the way he should grow. So if you talk to me about it and say, hey, this is what you should do, and this is what you shouldn't do, you're not exposing me, you're advising me. When you don't tell me, I experience it. How I experience it is no longer, and that's what's happening. And I'm only telling you this because I said this to my mom some time back when she told me, hey, one of your cousins just had her third child. I'm like, who is the father? It's like 3 different fathers. For real? And you're giving me that information like that? It's not funny. It's because if people don't want to tell them that, yo, you can, if you really want to do it, use protection then.
Yeah, we don't want to address the elephant in the room, that it is happening, and maybe there are ways to prevent. You know what? I find it interesting that we are talking about it without mentioning it. And we are different generations.
It's just that horrible, because the people who are exposed to this first, you don't hear this like that in the Western world so much, even though they had availability to internet before us, you know. But I think that because of how the society there is built, you know, I mean, it happens. It's not that it doesn't happen. And maybe it's that we're also blowing our own out of proportion, because these are new stuff now. it's just taking us on our ways.
It's new, because it doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. It's just, it's not what we're used to. So, and it's always been colored as bad. So,
right,
like, it's not, it's bad. It's colored as bad. Although but like you said, I think the only thing I can say, parents really need to address the elephant in the room, that this needs to be addressed with the advent of internet and all of these things. These conversations need to be had much younger than we thought. I think that's it. Yeah. And this has been really, really, I've enjoyed this conversation, Caleb.
It's a pleasure. I loved it. I did. Wow.
Lovely. That's our community. Call it spade a spade. Lovely. You call it too, because even me, I can't use my mouth because this. Because I realize I'm talking to like this could be my son, right? So I can't say it.
It's so hard. It's so hard, man.
It's hard. It's hard.
Like that.
But I have a quick question. One last question before I go, because you're a young man. I don't want to know your age, but you're in your 20s, right? Yeah. So at what age has it changed? At what age do you think that parents start as urging? Has your mother started having the conversation about when are you going to get married? Has it started with you? What age does it typically?
I was going to mention that in the show, that okay, my dad and I have we are cool now, except for that. You know, if he called me a few days ago and this is how he sounded, he was like, you know, dude, I don't want to pressure you, but what's going on? I was like, that's pressure. Of course, we are having that conversation. We've been having it. And I just think that is, you know, this is something, we've been having conversations about marriage. It's not today. My dad has been talking to me about it a long time. When he noticed that I was settled and I had my own place, you know, and I was doing all of that's what he started asking me. I don't know whether he thought maybe it got to me. He chilled. He didn't mention it again. So a few months ago, he was like, you know, I don't want to pressure you. I don't want you to feel pressured, but, and I knew exactly what was coming. So, but yeah, we talk about it. And I don't know.
He's like, when will you marry?
Why are these guys teasing?
But anyway, you know what? I'm just glad, because I just wanted to know that boys face the same pressure that young girls face. And I just wanted to have an idea of around what age do Cameroonian parents start worrying about, you know, when will my son marry and when will my son, you know, start.
I think that for the son is always around 28. So 28, yeah, because I think that was like the case for me, 28, and for it's just been, you know, dude, find somebody and stuff. And that's the thing. They'll tell you to find somebody, and then they're going to confine your niche. You know, that's the annoying part. They tell you find somebody, and they keep saying stuff like, try to find somebody around our side, you know, so that you can. And I'm like, yo, you want me to have this fast? So why are you confined? Why are you compressing this niche? So it's always so confusing till now. But yeah, for me, I think that I have a different approach to it. I'm hoping that I marry a friend. So a friend. Not that I found yet, but
no, you're wise. You're very wise. You're very wise. Find your friend. Marry your friend. Yeah.
Right.
On that note, I'll join your father to ask, Caleb, I don't want to pressure you, but you're doing well. Facebook, you can be paying millions. You can pay your rent. You can feed. You are supporting him. When are we coming for that wedding now, my son? I want to come and be auntie, wear my rich auntie outfit and say, you know, let's go for the wedding.
No, I'm sure that is within my powers, and I'm making efforts towards that. And I don't want to have, you know, that the thing about being an entrepreneur is that if you get married to headache, everything crumbles.
I beg, don't ever refer to a woman as headache.
No, I'm not saying that a woman is headache. I'm saying that if you get married to somebody who is going to give you that, I mean, I can be headache too.
Okay,
That's what I'm
good.
saying. Yes, I can be headache. If you get married to headache, and that means both ways. If you're an entrepreneur, I get married to somebody who's going to give you not peace of mind, then you are screwed. And not that there are no problems in marriages, but that when you marry a friend, you guys always have a pivot where there's a balance and stuff. And that's taking me so much time to find because, of course, you already know the society, what social media painting, and I'm covering all these 1 million weddings. That's the part I didn't tell you. I do events, I do weddings and stuff. I've been covering weddings. I've had over 7 couples on my love story segment. I've listened to their stories.
And you are single.
Yes, and I am here. I'm single because I think that when I'm in these places, I relate more. My perspective is even supposed to be better and more.
I need to give me your mother's number. It's time we visit the uncle in the village. You know, say just swear for your head. I know, I get it. It's because you're focused on work. And so that's not on your periphery at all. But once you would relax from work, once you find yourself in a place where you can begin to enjoy what you have done and what you have earned, then you will be able to look out there. But one word of advice from me is enjoy the journey. This thing you're doing is the journey, and it may just be the good old days, you know, that you will look back on and say, I wish I knew. So every aspect of this, as much as you're trying to build that empire, enjoy, try to find the beauty in every step of it, and live in the moment, because it passes by like that. Yeah. And then it becomes the good old days. So there's a question. Are you single?
Single.
He's single, Zega. So we need to find one of our small sisters. On that note, Caleb, it's been a pleasure. And any final words you want to say to your guests for tonight? You've been amazing.
Thank you so much. Don't let anything hold you back from and I don't want to sound like Burna Boy who took a Grammy or anything, like I just achieved or anything. I want to talk like somebody who is pushing it and getting up every day and getting weary and fighting it. That sometimes the reason why you get so weary and drained is because you're passion driven, and you shouldn't stop. You shouldn't for a second stop. And you can choose to be an anomaly in a world where everybody wants to follow a particular system. You can choose to be different, because if you live by their acceptance, you're going to die by their rejection. And that's my watchword. If you live by the world's acceptance, you die by their rejection. So do you, man, just do you. And they are going to align to you. Yes, that's it, pretty much.
If you live by their acceptance, you die by their rejection. Words of wisdom from a very young man with a very bright future, whose wedding is coming to hopefully in the near future. Thank you so much, Caleb. I'm going to take you backstage now and say goodnight to our guests. Thank you. It's been a joy.
All right.
Thank you, guys. Honestly, this has been a really refreshing conversation with our young man Caleb. Please make sure you follow him. Caleb is on all his social media handles. He's on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and Snapchat at Karawamedia. So follow him and see what I'm talking about. See what I saw that attracted me to want to find out more about what he does. He really truly is good at what he does, and we wish him the best. Thank you guys so much for watching. From next week, I will be streaming from YouTube, so please support. If you want to support the show, subscribe to our YouTube channel, watch via our YouTube channel, because Facebook is preventing me from sharing a lot of the show because they say that my colors are too close to their colors. So there's something about that. My branding is too similar to their branding. So they're not letting me share this show. So I need to take myself away from Facebook in the near future. So subscribe and please like the show, share it with your friends, and we'll see you next week, Wednesday, with another amazing guest. Thank you guys so much for watching. And like Caleb said, do you? Because if you, oh gosh, I wish I could bring him back to say that. But you remember his advice, right? My brain's just got blank. If you go by their acceptance, you will die by their rejection. I've just paraphrased that, but that is something along those lines, and I think that's just really, those are words of wisdom. Thank you so much. It's the Goretti Show. See you next week, Wednesday, same time, 8 p.m. God bless you. Bye-bye. If you live by the words acceptance, you die by their rejection. Caleb Karawa, 2021. Thank you, guys. See you next week, Wednesday. Bye-bye.